Welcome, everybody, to the last Tornado Tag podcast of 2025, where we, myself, ABJ, BP Burke, and Lilly will be doing our 2025 predictions. Let's get the show going. What's going on, everybody? We're here. The ABJ presents Tornado Tag, the last one of the year. Last pre-recorded. We'll be back to live on Tuesdays going into the next year, but we may have to adjust the times a little bit once again. I apologize. We're going to probably overlap a little bit with NXT because I think the new job, we might actually, no, we should be fine for still 7, right? Because it's still till 5:30.
7 is good for me.
Yeah, never mind. We're not changing anything. I keep thinking we're there till 6:30 for some reason. I don't know why. But yes, we start a brand new job going into the new year. Myself and Lilly, we're getting paid livable wages, which is super cool. We're going to be working Monday through Thursday with Friday, Saturday, Sundays off, which is
nice.
The best schedule for me.
Yeah. I wish I could work my way into that, but I don't have a lot to complain about.
Thursday nights are our new Fridays.
Yeah.
Ring the fucking bell. That's sick.
Be pretty awesome.
Yeah. And plus, that's a great time to start making some money at a good rate because maybe we can make Texas this year. She can go back home to Texas, but still be nowhere close to anywhere she needs to be to see family.
Amen.
But she can say she was in Texas again, and we can go watch wrestling in the biggest fucking toilet bowl in the country.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say we could.
Is it at the Jerry Dome? I wasn't sure where it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
is.
Yeah. I'm gonna shit extra hard in that bathroom. Maybe on the floor a little bit. No,
I don't want to date this, but it can't be any worse than the product that team put out on the field today.
Yeah, you guys beat the dog shit out of them.
They were a little angry from last week, I think.
Yeah, a little sour grapes, but it's all right. But yeah, so we're going to be closing out 2025. What a great year. If you see up in the corner, the ABJ podcast logo has a little bit of a different look to it. We're going to be adding this to the new regiment going into the year. It's got a little bit of burgundy. Is it a Washington reference? Probably, but we're adding that extra third color because we have some cool ideas with the logo going into the new season. So we're gonna have some different variants and stuff like that. So that'll be available for you guys to purchase as you're listening to this, as well as the new ABJ logo. And then I am going to be putting up, once this show is done, the Tornado Tags Saturday Night Main Event logo will be popping up as well. TeePublic will have all the logos available. Teespring will have limited run stuff, so I might just put 1 or 2 pieces of merch on there that'll be always there, and the rest will be like pop in, pop out. So get it while you can. Maybe it's available for a week, maybe it's available for a month, who knows, but it's gonna be more of a drive to maybe just to get your merchandise while it's still available. Stuff will come back. It's not going to be there and gone forever. And if it's in high demand, I'll put it back out. But let's get a demand for our product first before we talk merchandise. And anything you want to plug before we get into this, BP?
Yes. So the same thing I always plug, PPW. We are going to be, as this hits the air, it's going to be about 2.5 weeks away from Hey Bro, Matt Riddle coming to town. By the time this is out, chances are the front row will be sold out. Tickets are moving very fast for this one, so get them if you're in town. And check out the YouTube, PPW Entertainment. I know the last time we did this, I set the go live date for Thursday, so I believe this Thursday we're going to put up. So 2 days from when this comes out, January 2nd, we're going to put up the this past weekend's episode of High Voltage on YouTube. So people that don't get WYLN, don't have the handful of cable networks that or aren't in the area, can actually get to see what I shamelessly plug all the time here.
It's a good move. People should see your work. Lilly, anything you want to plug or get out?
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that too.
That's it.
We're gonna get there. Huge sorry on our part, mostly from me because I got a little sick and the girls were here. We did not get to make three Legacies Wrestling to close out their show. Huge congratulations to Zoe Cannon for winning that championship from that #1 pick in every category, almost JS Hawthorne. So huge title change there at 3 Legacies Wrestling.
Unfortunately, she didn't get to keep it long.
Right.
Did not get to keep it long.
4 minutes, I believe. 4 minutes.
Yeah. So a lot of people reached out. We're like, hey, man, we're looking forward to seeing you there, which means a lot because I don't get those a lot. So huge thank you to you guys. You know who you are. We'll be at more shows in 2025. We'll be at more independent shows in general in 2025 because coming in as content creators is going to be a lot of fun, and kind of maybe we bust out the car ride home microphones again and just do audio only. Oh, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
Always fun.
Yeah, we'll go back to doing those. But that's pretty much it. And let's get into our this week in wrestling. We can kind of glaze over because by the time you guys watch this, there'll be another week of wrestling that we could possibly talk about. So we're going to be a little behind.
It's only coming out in 2 days. What are you talking about?
Between now and then, though, there's coming out in 2 days. But in that day in between, the final episode of Raw on USA Network.
Yeah,
which is huge because I know, it was on Spike for a little bit, but for Raw's been on the air now for over 30 years, and for all but about 6 or 7 of those years, it's been on the USA Network, and now it's going to be gone for at least 5, maybe more.
Yeah, probably be more. And I think streaming is going to be the way to go.
I was going to say, I don't think there's TV networks
in 5 years, there may not be a USA Network. There may not be cable television.
Yeah, it's more likely than not. Yeah. But all right, well, let's get into our 2025 predictions. And Lily's going to chime in and talk some stuff. Maybe she'll have one here and there, but for the most part, there's going to be me and Brian bouncing stuff between us going into this year of things that we would like to see, or maybe things we would predict to see. Do you want me to start, or you want you to start?
I have a bunch here, so I'll get going. These are not so much things I would like to see, although some of them aren't bad. These are things I think will happen, though.
Yeah.
So, would you like something from AEW, WWE, or elsewhere?
Give me an AEW one. I think your AEW takes are a little hot. You're not a huge AEW guy right now.
I think they have A+ talent and B- or D- booking. If I had to be critical of AEW, but a great roster, a lot of incredible talent there. Somebody I am not as high on, and I don't think you are as well, but I think he's going to have a big year in 2025. And this is probably not going out on a limb here by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think Darby Allin will be the one to dethrone Jon Moxley and win that AEW title.
I was thinking that too, but after the pay-per-view, I don't think that's the case.
Adam Copeland?
I think Adam Copeland's going to be the guy to dethrone him, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because it's Jon Moxley is doing this whole AEW versus Team Elite deal. And I think Kenny coming back is obviously going to go after Okada. And I thought Darby would be the guy to beat Moxley, but it seems to me that Adam Copeland beats Moxley and then Christian cashes in on Adam. So we have that rivalry. And then maybe the Death Rider storyline doesn't have the title involved, and we get Darby versus Moxley again. I don't know.
It could be.
Yeah, it's up in the air. It's their bookings. I guess that's why I kind of prefer the AEW. It's not the best booking, but it's not as easily predictable because they might bro you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're like
it's easy to surprise people when you try not to make sense.
Yeah, which is I'm into it because WWE is right now to me too transparent. You know what I mean? Like they're not even doing good sleight of hand with their card tricks at this point. I'll go WWE for my first one. I'm gonna say I'm gonna pick my prediction is gonna be in night 2, which is essentially the main pay-per-view you want. The big match is night 2 WrestleMania, and I think that main event in night 2 will be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in between both of them.
Like Elizabeth in a neutral corner. But I think the cash in now I'm pissed that I'm saying this because now every media outlet is saying this, but I said it the night that CM Punk even said he was going to be on that team. The deal is going to be the one thing that eluded me my entire career is that I've never got to main event WrestleMania, and Paul Heyman, you are the absolute one guy who can get anyone there if they wanted to. So I need you as my favor to be my wise man to get me to main event at WrestleMania. But unfortunately, the guy going to be standing across from him is going to be Roman. That's going to be the night 2 main event, you think?
The night 2, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump on that one because I think the night 2 main event is going to be for the WWE title, the undisputed WWE title. Cody Rhodes defending against The Rock.
I agree.
But you just said Roman and Punk was going to be the main event.
I think that'll be night 1. I think that'll be night 1.
If they're doing Cody Rock, that's going to be the main event of the main. That's going to be the main event.
Yeah. But I think Punk's ego won't let him be the night one show guy.
If there's anybody that can match Punk ego for ego, it's The Rock. So
yeah, you're right.
He might
you're
lose
right.
that battle.
It is interesting though, because like maybe this is a prediction, so I won't say it. But there's another name that people are thinking are going to be involved in WrestleMania with a title, and I still
we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to step away for a second. My mic arm just came off of my table, and I have to fix
You're good.
it.
You're good. You mean to take off the screen?
Yeah. Just
he'll give me a thumbs up when he's ready. But another thing too is like there's another name out there that people are floating around. I won't say it because obviously it'll be a possible prediction for somebody. But I'm not 100% sure that Punk versus Roman is going to be even for a title. I think that could be a match that doesn't need the title to be involved. And I still think that opens up your title match for somebody else if they're the champion at that point in time. Maybe they beat Gunther for the title. What about you, Lily? You have any predictions while Brian's fixing his arm?
I only had one prediction.
What's your prediction? What do you think's going to happen?
Rhea Ripley is, I don't think she's going to go for the women's title. I think she wants to beat Liv, but I think that at the end of the day, she's going to keep losing the title, and she's going to end up like beating Liv for like not for a championship, like just to beat her, to say, okay, I've done it and I'm over this. You can have the title, you can have Dom, you can have the Judgment Day. I don't need any of that shit anymore. You can have all my used toys. I'm on to neither stuff. Like I just need to get that. I just wanted to get that one up on you to give you that little ass kicking you deserved. And now that I've done that, I'm good.
Yeah. I think Rhea is going to do the same thing you just said, but I think she's going to do it by winning the title the first Raw on Netflix. But yeah, I think that's going to move past that story.
Not my official.
I love Rhea, and I would love her to see her get other titles. I think other secondary titles, now that they're on play, Rhea will definitely get both of them at some point in time in her career because they're really big on people being the person. Because Rhea is the only one that has the accomplishment of the UK Championship, NXT Championship, and then both World Championships.
Yes, I do believe she.
The only other person who could do the UK one would be Toni Storm, and I don't think she's coming back to the E anytime. No. Yeah.
well, technically, Alba Fire, but I don't think that's going to happen either.
Yeah, agreed.
So with those secondary titles in mind, I do have one here. I think I'm going to go to NXT for this one, and I think at some point in this year, the women's North American title in NXT, I believe Fallon Henley currently has it.
Yes,
or somebody in that group. I believe at some point this year that'll be won by Ren Sinclair. I think Ren Sinclair has a big year this year.
Interesting. People are putting maybe not really a prediction, but a lot of people are saying that Charlie Dempsey is going to be the North American champion at some point this year.
Possibly.
Yeah, which would be
He's
cool.
Got some good bloodlines in him, that kid.
So I have a couple returns for this year, WWE side. But I have a big one first, so I'll knock my big one off the list first, and I think they return at the Rumble, as well as probably a lot of these other returns around that same time because that's the time usually to do it. But I think we have the return of one of the most legendary women's performers in WWE history, and I think AJ Lee returns back to the E.
Not the person I thought you were going to say. Not the person I thought you were going to say. I don't know if she would do it full time, but I think maybe a surprise number 30 in the Rumble is not out of the question.
I think she shows up and she's a surprise. I don't think she's a full timer at all as well, but I think she'll come in for a couple big name matches.
I thought you were going to say Charlotte Flair.
Well, do you want me to do my other returns that I got? I wanted to do the big one first, the AJ Lee one.
All right. I'm going to go back to WWE here, and I think this is what you were alluding to, so I'm just going to come out and say it. I think quite possibly at WrestleMania, quite possibly against Gunther, John Cena breaks Ric Flair's record and wins, even though it's not real. Ric Flair's been like a 24-time champion.
I think AJ has more than all of them.
But I do think that John Cena will win the World Heavyweight title.
I agree.
For his in WWE World record-breaking 17th World Championship.
Yeah, I had that on my list as well. Another kind of a return of someone who I think is going to see some ring time this year. And I think it's one of our authority characters on TV. I think Nick Aldis steps into the ring for the first time in his career in 2025 in WWE?
Against Adam Pearce, maybe?
That would be sick.
Yeah, I would love two former NWA World Heavyweight Champions.
I think it's gonna be. I honestly the name I would really love to see is I'd love to see him and Seth.
Okay.
I'd like to see him and Seth. I don't know how we would make that a match, but I think there's a lot of names out there. I think Nick Aldis can dissolve being a GM for a little bit and let somebody else take that over and go back to being a full-time competitor, which I would love. But yeah,
maybe maybe they would have to do a deal, I guess, or maybe some mixed doubles action. You could do a mixed tag with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins against Nick Aldis and Mickie James if we got to bring back one of the all-timers in the women's division.
Maybe she's on my list for returns a little later on.
Maybe.
If you have anything you want to chime in with, just let us know.
I don't even know who half the people you're talking about are.
I know you're gonna be really excited.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
So I'm gonna jump back to AEW here. Somebody I think is a superstar in the making, could possibly be, at least on the men's side, the biggest American star from his country in American professional wrestling. I think Konosuke Takeshita winds up main eventing a pay-per-view this year. Maybe Forbidden Door, maybe another one, maybe gets a title shot. But
what did you think of him in Powerhouse Hobbs' match?
It wasn't as good as some of the stuff around it, but I just think Takeshita screams superstar. Yeah. He has it. There's that je ne sais quoi that you can't really quantify it, but you know when somebody has it, and Takeshita has it.
He looks like when he wrestles you, he legit hurts you. Like he's very believable as a tough guy because he makes it look like it hurts. But he also, like, if you're smart, you realize how clean he is with it too. He's so good. He's so good. I'm gonna go back to the E side. I have a lot of E ones, only because it's super predictable. You know what I mean? But okay, I have Sheamus at some point in 2025, maybe Mania, will get the one thing that has eluded him his whole career, and that's the Intercontinental Championship.
Does he retire after that?
I think so.
So I know he has a very bad back, and he has a narrowed spine or something like that, and
I think he wins that title and then drops it to the guy who retires him, which I thought was going to happen last year, but they put it a triple threat.
Gunther?
Drew. I think Drew's the one to retire Sheamus.
Yeah, at this point, the IC title would be a step back for Gunther, I think, so it's a little tough.
Yeah, I think Drew would be a good IC champion.
Oh, yeah. Phenomenal IC champion. I'll stick with WWE. We know WrestleMania 40 is going to be in Las Vegas. I think sometime toward the end of the year, maybe middle of the year, you're going to get the announcement that WrestleMania 41 is going to be at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Maybe you even get that announcement at the Royal Rumble because the Royal Rumble is going to be there. This is kind of an easy one because they did announce that in a 3-year span that Indianapolis is going to get the Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. So it's either going to be 26 or 27. They're going to get WrestleMania. Vegas is a primo destination. This one will be a little more, for the people who couldn't swing the Vegas trip, maybe Indianapolis is going to be a little bit more affordable. So
do you think Mania ever goes international?
I don't know. If they get enough money, yes, but they're at the point now where they don't need to, like, cities are coming to them now. So if I know London's been if they're going to go, well, I'm assuming I'm assuming by international, I mean, you're going to go back to Toronto because they've been in Toronto twice.
Yeah.
So if we're going across the Atlantic, it would work because you could just do it like in the afternoon. I don't think people would hate that. I would love it, as a matter of fact. More wrestling events starting at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon is okay by me, as long as it's not football season or if it's on a Saturday. So if London wants to pony up the cash, then maybe. But at this point, cities are paying them top dollar to bring WrestleMania to their city because we saw it in Philly. We were both down there. I walked around Center City that entire weekend. And you would, like, every third person you would see walking around like Love Park or the Reading Terminal Market or wherever was in a wrestling shirt.
It's awesome.
And Yeah, so like I went to Barcade in Center City, and the one arcade machine with a line was WrestleMania, the arcade game from the 90s. So there is an economic impact for these cities, so they have to pay up. And I don't know if international cities are in that mindset where they're used to that in the United States, where you bid for Super Bowls, and usually it's a big money deal. So if London wants to put up the cash, then go for it. But and also I don't know. Well, Wembley's a dome, right?
No, it's a
it's not. Okay, so that's another thing. Cold weather. I think after this year, after night one of Mania, especially, I was there. It was freezing, and they talked about it on the show. And it seems like maybe SummerSlam is going to go to the cold weather cities, and unless you have a dome, the northern cities are probably going to get SummerSlam. SummerSlam this year is going to be in New Jersey. It's going to be at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah. Do you think the Big Four go to 2 days eventually?
I don't know about Survivor Series, but then again, I don't think Survivor Series is one of the big. Well, you could, because you could do men's war games one night, women's war games the other night.
Rumble the same way.
Rumble. The one they're talking about is Money in the Bank, because I think that really has supplanted Survivor Series as number 4.
Yeah.
Although War Games kind of has brought
Survivor Series back. Yeah.
But for a while, Money in the Bank was totally number 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Completely agree. Lily, you said you got another one.
No, I was saying I had something to say.
Are you muted?
I was asking you before.
Tap.
I can't tell.
Hit your button.
Hello.
Now you're on.
Yeah, now you're on.
I can't hear anything in my head. Like I can hear you guys. I can't hear me in my head.
You're on now.
I don't even remember what Brian was talking about. I had something to say off of what he was saying.
Oh.
I had John Cena winning number 17.
No, what was the last one you said?
Takeshita main eventing. WrestleMania being in Indianapolis.
No, before you were saying about Takeshita being main eventing for a pay-per-view.
A pay-per-view. Yep.
Yeah. And I think that another one that would be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pushed.
Yes, thank you. As someone else who I think that's going to be pushed pretty hard this year, obviously, is Kenny Omega, but I don't know if they're going to have him in one of the like major pay-per-views already. But I'm thinking that I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know. Again, don't listen to my predictions here. I don't know anything about anyone's history with anyone except for what I've heard on this podcast. So I don't know the dynamics of everyone, but I think it would be really cool for FTR, Edge, and Omega to all end up together somehow. And
I think
take on the Bucks, because originally it was FTR versus.
I think the Bucks are going to come back as good guys, and I think you're going to get Kenny and the Bucks versus.
So much for my prediction.
Okada. Okada. I think Okada's storyline is going to be a little separate. I think Okada might actually leave the Elite, but I think eventually you're going to see Kenny and the Bucks, and that's probably going to be another Death Riders thing down the road where they have to be the opposing force. Yeah,
Kenny, the Bucks, maybe Hangman.
Yeah,
against the Death Riders.
I think we're getting Kenny and Okada for the Continental Championship in London, in Texas.
But y'all win.
I would love to. This isn't one of the things I predicted, but I would love to see unifying the Continental and the International title and having it
maybe. But I like the tournament.
Takeshita and Okada. You can still have the tournament, but
yeah,
just trim some titles. Trim some titles, please.
There's rumors they might be bringing women's tag team titles in.
Oh, I mean that's okay. Like if you want to have your women's division mirror your men's division and treat them on equal footing, I'm fine with that. But
yeah, same.
But
I think the secondary women's titles are the coolest things to happen in WWE for a while, because I think it's going to make the women's title, the TV, like watchable. Like, oh, cool, we have a secondary title I can watch if I'm bored with, no offense, Rhea and Liv. Like, I can watch a Chelsea Green title run now. Like, sign me up. Like, I'm pumped for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Chelsea's the perfect call for that title.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So while we go ahead. While we have it,
delay, you go.
While we have AEW on the brain, this is my one prediction for Ring of Honor. I think by the end of the year, Ring of Honor is going to wind up on some sort of free streaming service. So what I mean by a free streaming service is something like a Pluto TV or a Tubi. Amazon had Freevee, but I think they're just getting rid of the Freevee thing because there's some things on Prime Video are free now. Something of that nature. I think they're going to do a deal where Ring of Honor is going to be on that just so they can get more eyeballs on the product.
I'm close with. I'm saying either TV deal or HBO Max. I think it goes there.
Okay, possibly. I think that would have been part of the existing deal if Warner was interested or Warner Discovery was interested.
Yeah,
because they just did a deal with them, which includes pay-per-views at a discounted price and all this other stuff. So I think if they wanted Ring of Honor on Max, they could have easily done that in that deal.
Yeah,
but I think same thing. They could have easily done True TV. If they wanted it on True TV, it could have been there. Yeah. But it looks like
I think there's no reason Jericho's your champion now, and it's probably something's coming.
Or they're trying to make something happen, as I think more to the point of why Jericho's a champion.
All right, I'm gonna go to my big one. We can debate here a little bit. I got a couple returns, and maybe you guys can chime in if you have some returns as well. But I have 3 women who are going to return. I think Charlotte returns in 2025. I don't think this is a bold prediction.
No.
Alexa Bliss returns in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Carmella returns in 2025.
Everybody that had a baby is coming back.
And Mickie James has her last run in WWE in 2025.
It makes sense. Her husband's there now. So yeah, it would be a good time for her to have a run there.
And then
none of those would surprise me. Okay.
Big E comes back in 2025.
I hope so. If he's number 30 in the Rumble, that crowd would go nuts. Or even if let's just say early on in the Rumble, like usually have like some people like running the Rumble. Let's just say it's around like number 12 and Xavier Woods and Kofi are kind of just wrecking house and they're dominating the Rumble, and then Big E's music hits. That the roof will blow off of that stadium for that.
Yeah. I have The Rock returns in 2025.
Seems like
I have for a 1-match deal. I don't know how, who, or when, or if he just makes an appearance and comes and raises some hell. I think we see Stone Cold Steve Austin between the ropes again in 2020.
Oh, really?
What do you mean you don't know who?
Because you
don't know who? Okay, I have a prediction. John Cena has to fight Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's what he's gonna win. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it. You also didn't like Undertaker coming in. What's up? It's something people would want to see.
Agreed. Because it's
not because it makes sense, not because there's a storyline with it, but hey, let's just see it. There's my prediction.
Interesting.
Go on. Who else you got coming back?
And this one, the 2 here, these are my long shots. And one, I don't know if I want one.
I think Steve Austin's a long shot, to be honest.
Yeah, same here. I think the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
It could happen. It could happen. It could happen.
I think he's back for 1 match. He passes the torch on to Gunther, and he gets out.
I think that's going to be Goldberg that does that.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
That would be cool, too. What if Gunther beats Goldberg and Brock in the same year?
Good. He could be 3-time. He could win the Wrestler of the Year award 3 years in a row for me.
And then, depending on his independent stint right now, which in the media he's not doing too well, but we're going to be hanging out with him next month, I think Matt Riddle has an opportunity to come back in 2025. Just not WWE.
Who knows? I mean,
with Dana White and TKO, I do not see him coming
back. Yeah, Dana. I don't know how much say Dana has over the WWE side of the operation, but I know like they're famously not cool with one another.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that could happen, and I can't wait to see him wrestle VSK in 2.5 weeks. That's going to be good match. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I don't have
Matt Riddle like doing independent matches again. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's one thing wrestling the WWE style, but do you think he bounces back and goes back to his indie style? Because he was kind of crazy back in the day. Do we get Matt Riddle back at Bloodsport?
It was originally his Bloodsport. Well, I think the deal with that is Josh Barnett like is legit in control of that. Like he books Bloodsport.
What if we get Josh Barnett versus Matt Riddle in the next Bloodsport?
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. There.
Yo, the original Bloodsport and the guy who runs it now tie off.
That would be
Bill Goldberg versus Matt Riddle in Bloodsport.
That stinking hyena, Bill Goldberg. Kick him in the head for me. So I don't really have a lot in return here, but I do have one that I think could happen specifically because of the circumstance. I know they usually don't let people go to bigger companies in the WWE, but they've kind of loosened up on that a little bit now. I do think you see one last time, possibly, Shinsuke Nakamura stepping into a New Japan ring at some point in 2025.
Io
because
did, right?
Io, I think, did wrestle for. Did she wrestle for Marty Gold? I don't know.
Yeah, she wrestled in Marty Gold's first pay-per-view, but then someone wrestled in. Was it AJ wrestled in Japan, or who was it? Japan?
Io or was that Kyrie?
Io did.
I thought Kyrie.
It may.
Was in Gold.
It was Io.
I'm sorry.
So. This is why I think it's going to happen, because Hiroshi Tanahashi is retiring. He's hanging it. I know there's a thing where if he loses his match against Evil at the Tokyo Dome in a few days, that's the end. But I don't think he's going to lose there. But I want an extension of this. It could happen in very early 2026 at Wrestle Kingdom 20. If Tanahashi is going to hang it up. He's the president of the company. He's universally respected. And I think Nakamura is going to be part of him hanging up the tights. Like he was for Great Muta, but that wasn't in New Japan. Nakamura was part of, it wasn't, I don't think it was his last match. I think it was his last match as the Great Muta, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I don't know contracts here, so maybe this is just me spitballing, but sometimes people are a little too on the nose when it comes to references, especially on the AEW side, and especially Will Ospreay. What has Will Ospreay been landing a lot?
I haven't been.
A finishing move of somebody's that they are proudly calling the Styles Clash, and he's hitting it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I don't know what his contract is right now, or if he's close to one. I know he's injured or he's coming back, but if his contract is available soon, I can see AJ jumping over to AEW to finish out his career.
Possibly. Very possible, yeah.
And the other guy I have on that list that I know his contract's coming up, and I think it would be fucking crazy to have just about every leader of the Bullet Club can swing a match in AEW where Finn Balor jumps ship. We could have
Possibly.
Finn versus AJ versus Kenny versus like Adam Cole. You know what I mean? Like
maybe not that one guy who was the leader of the Bullet Club for a
that's
minute.
what I'm saying. I think Adam Cole fills in that spot.
maybe not Cody.
No, I don't think Cody was ever. I mean, Cody was kind of a leader. That's why they went gold.
Did they have a match where it's like Kenny and Cody, the winner's a leader, and Cody won it or something? I think that happened. So I want to say Finn Balor very recently signed a new contract, though, so I don't know if that's going to happen.
Bummer.
And the person who everybody does know is has a deal coming up, but they're saying that Kevin Steen, if he hasn't already signed, it's a done deal that he's going to resign with WWE.
Too much money.
But I do have,
and I would honestly, I love Kevin, and I would want nothing more than Kevin Steen to be over there. But that TKO money is too good.
I do have something here, though. I do have something for AJ Styles. I think this is the year that he gets inducted into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame.
That'd be sick. Christian will be the AEW World Champion in 2025. Now you're thinking that's an easy pick. He's the cash in. He's going to do a great job with it. But he's going to cash in on the most guy, the guy who is the cash in guy. I think he cashes in on his buddy Adam Copeland, and he uses his whole bit against him, and then we finally get the return of Adam versus Christian, and eventually maybe become frenemies. Please God, just
it seems like there's not a lot of room left on that track. Yeah, I think they're getting toward the end of that. I
think them together as a tag team would be sick. I honestly, I hate to be this guy, but I rather in 2025 go see an Edge and Christian match than a Hardy Boys match.
How about sometime in 2025? You have heel Edge and Christian, babyface Young Bucks in a TLC match.
Be sick, and add Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne. Well, at this point, it'd probably be like somebody else in Nick Wayne. It'd probably be Kip Sabian and
Jungle
Nick Wayne.
Boy.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't hate Jungle Boy and Nick Wayne as a tag team though.
I would, because it has Jungle Boy in it.
I think Jungle Boy's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
I like him.
So I have more WWE stuff than I have
AEW
stuff right now. Oh, go for it.
Blank. No, I don't know. Sorry.
Jesus. All right.
I'm sorry. We were talking. Say what you said again. Whenever
Christian Cash's.
Oh, okay. You ready? I think Christian can take it. I think that everything that you're saying is going to happen, but I think that somewhere in between this, I think all of that happens before All In, and I think Hangman Adam Page leaves All In as champ. Not because I want it to fucking happen, but because
cowboy shit?
Yeah. Yup.
Possible.
Yerp.
Very possible.
Indeed. How about that?
I don't like it.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I like it.
I'm
but
very
I can see it happening.
I'm very hard on Adam.
All right.
He's a good.
Well, let's talk about it. Did Saraya? Oh, I don't want to get too crazy here, but I didn't know really anything about wrestling at the point in time when I watched my first All In 2 years ago, and everyone went. All I remember saying, I was like, "Look, I'm happy for her. She's home. She's in the UK, and she's winning." And everyone was like, "She doesn't deserve it. It's a cheap pop because she's in her home country." And like, dude's literally a cowboy. Where should he win at?
Someone's gonna get their hometown pop that night, and that's my next prediction, Lily. Athena. I think if they didn't pull the title off her yet, I don't think they're going to in ROH. I think Athena's going to hold it even longer. And I think Athena's going to be the first person to hold up an ROH championship and hold up the AEW Women's Championship. And I think she's the double champ leaving All In Texas.
Possibly.
I think Athena is the kaiju no one can take down, and 2025 is going to be no different. It's crazy to say 2025 is the year of Athena, but it's going to be the year we actually get to watch it happen because it's not behind the paywall.
How about Athena has a match on TV? Let's start small.
I think Athena walks out of All In as the AEW Women's Champion.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think somebody else is going to win that AEW Women's title, and that's Willow Nightingale. Will win it at some point this year.
God, I hope.
Maybe she wins the Owen Hart tournament again, and that's how she gets in.
Yeah,
so that. Are you out of stuff? I still have a bunch.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let's jump over to WWE again. At some point, I'm going to set a deadline for the night after WrestleMania, the Raw or SmackDown. So maybe not the night after, the Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania. I think we see by then or maybe before then, and I'm not talking about a one-off in the Rumble, I'm talking about full-time, that Roxanne is going to get the call-up.
Okay.
She's been the anchor, or not the anchor, that's a bad thing. She's been the
keystone,
the centerpiece, the cornerstone of NXT's women's division, which is a great women's division for a long time now, and it's time for her to move up. And then you can have Zarya and Vaquer and Julia and Cora and
Stephanie.
He just said that.
Stephanie Vaquer, yeah. Ren Sinclair, I think is very good. There's a lot of talent down there.
Do you think the Japanese girls move up? It's not just Japanese. Julia and Stephanie, the Hispanic or Mexican and Japanese
Chilean.
girl.
She's Chilean.
Chilean, sorry.
She's Chilean, yeah. So possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I just don't think I hate doing this to NXT, but I think they're a little too good for the NXT's division, and it doesn't help them being there at this point in time. I think they need to move them up faster.
It's less I think about helping them and more about helping the talent down there, because they always have new talent coming in, and it like having the people that can actually go to help them like grow is a big thing. Like that's how they knew Tiffany Stratton was ready. She had that program with Becky Lynch. So I don't know if they're gonna. I think maybe next year you see them come up. But
does Becky come back in 2025?
No,
I think Becky comes back on the first Raw on Netflix. She's in the commercials.
But as a wrestler,
yes,
yeah.
I think that if Becky Lynch comes back, I don't think she's going to be wrestling.
I don't. I do.
She might have limited dates.
My pick.
Yeah.
She might be like, okay, I'll come back. I'll work 30 dates a year. But,
Right.
But yeah, I think she'll come back.
She's really excited for her Star Trek debut.
But yeah, I don't think
that what she did, right? She did like
she
that.
couldn't even.
She's like, I can't do it.
She said.
See that this doesn't even mean Star Trek to me.
No,
that means it's Vader time. That's right. That's what that means for me. So just to round out some stuff here for WWE, Paul Heyman at some point portrays Roman Reigns in 2025. I think that maybe if we do get Punk Roman, yes, because the one thing we haven't seen in this new run in either AEW or WWE, we haven't seen the best of CM Punk, because the best of CM Punk is when CM Punk is a heel, and that's the perfect way to do it.
He's a heel to the boys, but he's a fan to the fans. Like you know what I mean? Like, but even the fans are kind of split on him, because there's still some fans that think he's a scumbag. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's a very polarizing guy.
Lean into it.
I love him.
And it could be like a Drew McIntyre thing where you get a lot of the I told you the first night I came back, my first night back on Raw, I told you I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And it's got to happen. And I can't wait.
Does he win the Rumble?
No, I think John Cena wins the Rumble.
Interesting. Okay. Does he win Elimination Chamber?
Possibly. But if they're doing Punk Roman, I don't think it's going to be for a belt.
I don't either. I think. Oh, I just sneeze. I think CM Punk is the reason Roman gets dumped out of the Rumble this year.
Could be. That could be. That could definitely happen. Royal Rumble's going to be so good. There's like so many, because like the last 2 years is kind of like, oh yeah, Cody's probably winning. I don't think like I wouldn't be, if you gave me like John Cena against the Field, I'm picking the Field. I just, like John Cena, I think is going to win, but it's not like, oh yeah, John Cena's going to win. It's obvious.
And then you have that scumbag who could show up and just be like, I'm winning. You have the Rock, like the Rock can show up and be like, I'm winning. Sorry. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think the one person be like, you know what? Nah, you know, maybe I'm going to cancel this whole retirement tour thing. Like Cena and Cena has earned the Rock's respect as well. But yeah, the Rock could win it. The Rock could be, that could absolutely happen. Like the obviously fake Royal Rumble thing that leaked, where the Rock comes in as number 31, but they say that every year. Oh, somebody's going to come in as number 31, and it never happens.
Yeah, never. Jordan Grace makes her WWE debut,
like permanent debut,
in the Royal Rumble this year.
She did that. She was in it last year.
But she's been a TNA guest.
Yeah, this would be her third. This would actually be her third Rumble.
Yeah, but she will be officially WWE Jordan Grace when she enters the Rumble this year.
It seems like she has her contract coming up here in like less than a month. I think they said before the Royal Rumble she's going to be out of her TNA contract. I have another one that I don't think is possible. Or not that I don't think it's possible, that I don't think it's likely right now, but boy would I love it, that one of our good buddies makes it to NXT this year. I think they would be a great fit for it. And that'd be Speedball Mike Bailey to NXT this year. I'm thinking Speedball Mike Bailey to AEW.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going the other side. AEW, I think it'll be a great fit there. And I have specified here that he, in my predictions, that he will at least once, not that this is like a wild prediction because people wrestle all the time each other. I think at some point in the year he wrestles Ricochet.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot.
But going back to the TNA Knockouts division.
Real quick, where's Morrison been? Or Mundo or whatever the hell he's going by.
Johnny TV. Ring of Honor, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ricochet back. We need that matchup again.
The last I saw him was when I saw him live wrestling Dalton Castle in at the Liacouras Center in Temple.
Yeah. Pentagon.
I think
making his debut on Netflix.
Yeah, I think the first Raw on Netflix. That's going to be like a pay-per-view. That it's. I think Becky's coming back. I think Penta's debuting. There's going to be a lot going on in that show.
Who does Penta go after first?
Penta,
Ray, right?
You would think if he's a heel, it's got to be Ray. If he's a babyface,
To Ray versus Penta in 2025.
yeah,
I need that.
it'd be interesting. I have something that's kind of related to the Jordan Grace thing. A main event again at some point. Don't know the exact show, but a main event of a TNA pay-per-view at some point in 2025. Masha Slamovich versus Tessa Blanchard for the Knockouts title.
I want to see it. I think this run for Tessa right now is 2-year deal, maybe 3, but I think only 2. If I had to make a wild guess from what I've had in previous conversations, I think a 2-year deal, and this is I'm on my best behavior tour. I'm showing that I'm a team player. I'm showing that I'm righting the wrongs, whatever they may be. You know what I mean? Because I'm not accusing her of anything because she told me her side of the story. And I think this is her redemption arc. And I think once that redemption arc is done, I think she's bound to go back to the WWE or go to the WWE. I think she was right there before. I think most of that women's roster wants to work her on a capacity, and no one's getting any younger. Mm-hmm. And 2 of the big names that want to work her in the worst way are Bayley and Charlotte.
Yeah. I believe she did wrestle Charlotte in NXT, but again would be something. I know she was in the Mae Young Classic as well.
She told me that they have wrestled in a training facility with no cameras and no one there. And she said,
like Rocky and Apollo, yeah.
They said the chemistry was unbelievable.
I don't doubt it.
I'm like, oh my God, I want that match so bad.
So yeah, I have a few left here. I've gone through most of mine. Joe Hendry, I think, will win the TNA title at some point because it seems like he does have some time left on his deal. Yeah. I think he will win that title. Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, I think they get called up to the main roster and they win a tag title.
Wow.
Probably SmackDown. I'm going to say probably SmackDown for that.
It's like
they beat DIY.
It's like one of the Hawks teamed up with Zack Xander.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except one has charisma.
I also have, I'm running low here. I have a few more miscellaneous ones. I have, and I'm going to close on some of these. I have 2 I'm going to close on. 3 I'm going to close on, actually. I do think somebody's going to jump ship. Summers, I think there's going to be a defection from AEW to WWE around SummerSlam.
And why is it Ricky Starks?
Oh, that's whenever he's able to leave, he's going to go.
Yeah.
Because they'll actually put him on television and have him wrestle. So I think that SummerSlam being at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, they're going to once again in WWE this time bring the boom. I think the Costco guys are going to jump to WWE and they're going to bring the Rizzler with them.
God, please God no, bro. You know what just drives me crazy? Like I'm a content creator, right? Like we've been doing this for a minute, and like people can donate and super chat and do all that fun stuff. But like they're on live streams on TikTok and like galaxies are worth like a couple. They're not cheap to do. And they just get them and they're like, cool, another galaxy. Boom. Like they're just sick of making, like, it's not even fun for them anymore to make money. They just don't care. They just show up and they're like, we're here and we're bringing the boom. And people are stopping them in the streets. Like, can you do the boom thing with me? And they're just like, bro, you should be milking this. Like, you should not be showing that you're bored with this yet. You know what I mean? Like, ride that puppy because I don't know how much longer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this coming from the same guy who like 2 weeks ago was like, why are people giving them money? They should just, you need to stop and not like.
No, I still 100% do that. I think it's insane that they're paying money for a little kid to go boom and rate cookies. It's wild to me. But
I wasn't talking about people spending their money as much as like, I don't know. I think that the guys themselves, like you were saying, I don't know all the story once again, but like you were saying how basically he's making money off of these kids, right? And like
one of them
are just going for it, right? And one of them's not even his, right? Correct. I don't know all the ins and outs and all of that, but like if people don't even like if they're not even caring about it anymore, then like I don't understand how people are even still.
Because people are dumb.
Like if you're just not even giving a hoot, like, oh yeah, I gotta.
Did you watch Wicked? Everyone just sings and dances and smiles. That's just all it is.
You watched Wicked?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wicked made me just hate society. I'm like, we're doomed.
You haven't been the same since we watched.
We're doomed. We're fucking doomed.
He's been.
We're not boom. We're doomed.
A little more.
Yeah, we're doomed. Yeah.
A little more green.
Yeah, I'm getting greener by the day.
I knew it. I knew it. In 2 weeks.
Not that great. Yeah. What was I gonna say? But you know what makes the most sense about the Costco guy though? He's a worker. He's a boy. Like he's a wrestler. Like that makes total sense to me. Like, oh, he figured it out.
Not only a wrestler, a Jersey indie wrestler.
Yeah, he's a Jersey indie wrestler.
The most wrestler you can be. It's the most wrestler you can be.
Listen, I'm not mad they're making
wrestler.
their money. I'm just saying, as a society, let's pick and choose the people that we're going to pull off the internet to make famous. Because Hawk 2 didn't work out for anybody. You know what I mean? Like
that one was going
to bed, and she's yet to be seen because she's scammed at everybody out of all their money. Like, pick and choose your celebrities. You know what I mean? You got these really three lovely people on this podcast. Throw some booms at us. You know what I'm saying?
When is our coin coming out?
Yeah, when do we get to do stupid dances? BP, what is
Who wants to be the very first person to buy a Witchcrafts by Lilly shirt? You can do it now.
Yeah.
On my link tray.
Yeah.
It's only been up for a year. No biggie.
I have one. I didn't buy it.
You didn't buy it though. That's my point.
Now we have jobs. We have money. I'll buy some shirts off you.
The point was, hey people, you can buy my merchandise. Everybody's merchandise.
Yeah.
Support BP. Go to PPW.
I do have here Daniel Garcia. I think will be in the G1 tournament this year, and then I have a handful of things for some more people that we've worked with kind of more closely. I think at some point you're going to see Diego Hill wrestle a match in either Ring of Honor, maybe an AEW, like not AEW Dark because we don't do that anymore, but maybe like a Collision, or he might get WWE ID'd. One of those things. I think Brad Baylor has a match on NXT this year. He is in the WWE ID program. I think that happens.
I think they're doing some type of WWE like ID show where they're
it's called LFG. It's like Legends and Future Greats or something like that. It's going to be on A&E.
It doesn't mean let's effing go.
Yeah. So I know one of the people that is going to be in, I think, one of the first episodes, and it's funny because he just got signed and he's not a wrestler, is Elijah Holyfield. He's part of this new Performance Center class. He's Evander Holyfield's son. He's a football player. He played for the Eagles a few years ago.
Yeah.
But he was one of those guys where if fullback was still a full-time position in the NFL, he maybe would have been able to get a gig. But kind of like Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker was a fullback basically, and he couldn't really latch on to anybody. He did like a preseason with the Ravens.
Yeah.
But I know Elijah Holyfield is going to be involved with that. And the other one is, I think, because I know he's been putting a lot of work in there. He's been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I do think we see J.S. Hawthorne in an MLW ring this year.
Okay.
Which I would be, or next year, not this year. Because it is now New Year's Eve when you see it, when people watch this.
Yeah, and MLW kind of got rammed through a little bit. Lance is now gone. Jacob's gone. Zilla's probably not too far behind. So yeah. Lily, anything else you got in closing, Lily?
I was just I'm gonna finish what I was saying at the beginning. I hope everybody has a really good incoming year, and I think that if you had not so great of a 2024, what better day than just to leave it behind in the past, start every day fresh. But I mean, like, my biggest, I don't know, I know nobody said anything about goals here, but something that I think I'm going to be doing more for this upcoming year is just being better than I was yesterday. I don't need to have a specific goal in mind. I just know that I need to keep going, and I hope everyone else can keep going. And if you are having trouble keeping going, send a message to us. We did. Send a message to me.
Yeah, I like that. Goals. I like the goals. Do you have any other goals you want to do?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this year, okay, so I haven't had a working vehicle of my own in 3 years, almost 3 years. I would like to get my own car, and I want to have a space for my kids. Like, now I think I have more goals coming for this year, because the biggest goal that I was trying to accomplish for the last 7 years finally happened this year, and that was all that I was focused on. And now that I have that, of like actually having time with my kids, now my next goal is just like, okay, how do we make this bigger? How do we make this better? And like I said, I'm just going to go one day at a time and just work on it a little at a time.
Why you, BP?
Oh, I don't have anything that poignant.
Sorry. I got deep there. My bad. Y'all thought you weren't going to hear me at all for an hour and a half?
BP's going to have a kid this year.
Oh, no.
Little old for that. Little old for that. A lot of old for that. I'm not as young as I look. Trying to keep it going. Trying to keep it going. This year was very much a learning experience with kind of getting thrown into a creative position very unexpectedly in a wrestling company, but I'm not a rookie anymore, so it's got to get better. It's got to build and it's going to be a fun ride. I'm looking forward to it.
My goal is this channel. I'm gonna go extra hard in the paint this year on the channel. If like with high tension and with Ruda, that's essentially my priorities going into it. If PPW would have me, I would love to be a part of it, but that doesn't seem to be on the cards at this point in time, and that's fine. I have no problem going and supporting and being a fan, but I want double digits this year. I want 10K subscribers by the end of 2025. And that's crazy because it took me almost 2 years to hit, or 8 years or 7 years to hit 1,000. But I want 10K by the end of this year, and I want them legitimately.
That domino effect is real. Real.
And I'm gonna add a lot of more content this year. I'm gonna be doing game streams. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of this. I'm actually doing my first ever one tonight. I'm doing in a long time a hangout with ABJ. It's on Peacock, so I could put it on this channel right now. But I will be tuning into Peacock.
Not tonight. Tonight,
as
this is being aired.
As it's recording tonight, the 29th, and I will be watching week 17 live on YouTube. If people pop in, they pop in. If they don't, they don't. But I'm just gonna sit here and have a beer and watch the Commanders and hopefully watch them get their first 11 game win season since in 33 years, which is
it was 33 years since they went to the Super Bowl
and had more than a 10 win season.
Yeah. They went, I believe, 14-2 that year, didn't they?
Yes, that was the biggest. That's the best record they've ever had as a franchise.
And the two teams that beat them were the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah,
Eagles was actually the last.
Eagles smacked the Cowboys' booties today.
Yeah,
clinched the NFC East. And it does look like, barring some kind of miracle, it is going to be Eagles Commanders wild card weekend. That's going to be.
Can't wait.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
God.
You're one QB sneak away from being done. No, I'm joking. Well, we both are. You know what I mean? Like we both have a lot of chips in those quarterbacks.
Kenny Pickett looked all right today. He looked all right today.
He threw. Did you see that throw where he just threw himself into the ground?
Yeah. After that, he looked all right. And you know who else looked good? Tanner McKee looked good.
Yo,
Tanner McKee
he glitched in a Madden play when he threw himself into the ground.
That was rough. Yeah, that was rough. And then he got banged up a little bit. And they took him out of the game. Although next week, could be a record. Could be. How poetic would that be? And I know, okay, well, it's an extra game, so there's that asterisk, but whatever. OJ did it in 14 games. If he would have had a 16-game season, he would have the record.
Yeah.
So Saquon needs, like, I think 107 yards next week against his former team, against the Giants.
One that cut him.
To break the NFL single-season rushing record. And
I think he runs for 200 that game.
Well, as soon as he gets the record, he's out of the game. If they even play him, I'm sure they're going to play him and try to get him the record. But I mean, technically, no. But it seems like they're not going to. They're going to be locked into that number 2 seed. There's that outside shot. The wrestling talk is over, I guess. So if that's what you came here for, you can go now, I suppose. But there was this kind of convoluted thing where if the Vikings lose to the Packers today and the Niners beat the Lions on Monday, and then the Vikings beat the Lions next week, and the Eagles beat the Giants, they could still get the number 1 seed. But it looks like the Vikings are going to beat the Packers, so that kind of that's going to be the wild thing. There's probably going to be a 14-3 team, possibly a 15-2 team that is a wild card.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, the only thing I said, I had 10K subscribers, and I really want to. I think the other big goal I have this year is I'm gonna maybe I'm starting too much of this, or maybe it's not enough. But I want to get 100 members on the YouTube channel. 100 members at $5 a piece. That's a great way to pay a lot of bills every month for the channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would. That would be my other goal I want to do this year is hit 100 members on the on YouTube. But yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna do it.
That'll do it
here
yeah.
for us at Tornado Tag. We will see you guys next year. Do we have any ideas of what we're gonna start off with this year?
I don't know if I think the only thing we really talked about was the 2000 Royal Rumble, but that might be better for later in the month when we're closer to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some. Oh, go ahead.
So last year, is day one a thing every year? Like last year, how we like it was New Year's and then there was like the day one. I don't know if it was a pay-per-view, but like that was a big thing.
Day one was a pay-per-view in like the year Brock beat Big E.
Yeah.
And it's like
I thought we watched day one last year. Did we
did.
Not? Oh, but
it was a Raw, right?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? That's
Yeah.
I guess where I was confused. My bad. Again, this was the beginning of my wrestling career.
Yeah.
Although Dynamite will have a New Year's Day episode.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think of like things that are around this time frame that we could do history.
Is there an old school wrestler that you've seen us heard us talk about that you want to hear the history of?
An old school wrestler I want the history of? Plenty. Honestly, can we do one on Macho Man?
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Brian's like,
let's go. I'm just saying, like, I have more of his shirts than anybody else's. I hear this guy do impersonations of people in Australia, and it sounds like Macho Man. Every impersonation this guy does, it's Macho Man. Yeah. I know what his voice sounds like. I've seen a few of his matches with Hulk Hogan. I've seen the lust in his eyes.
No. Hulk Hogan.
I've seen the really. Hold on. Wait a minute. Do it, Tony. Turn around. Don't look at the camera. Why are you looking at the camera?
The handshake.
The handshake, where he just don't look the entire
Mega
time.
Power handshake. Yeah.
Most of his interviews is back.
Oh my gosh, every time. Yeah. But I don't really know much about like himself. I want the history of all of it.
You know what should be another one we do? Just because beginning of the year, just because we're gonna put good vibes out for him as a human, because he's trying to work his way back to walking again, possibly. Let's do a Lex Luger episode.
All right.
I think he's pretty hot. Listen, let's play the algorithms a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they're talking about him a lot. He's working out with DDP. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
DDP has him standing up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I guess DDP had him to a point where he was standing and taking a step or two. And then he had a really bad revert and he didn't move he went back to just not moving or trying. But DDP's working with him again and has him doing a whole bunch of shit, and he has him standing on his own.
There can be the next 2 weeks, Randy Savage and Lex Luger.
Yeah. We have a title belt.
Well, we're already into the 14th, and then the next week or that week will be PPW. Do you want to do?
So we need 4, right? So we have Lex, Rumble.
Oh, 4. Yeah, 4.
Randy Savage.
Lex. Randy Savage, Luger, Rumble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then let's do the history of the Winged Eagle. No, not yet.
What's the pay-per-view for January?
The Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
Oh, I thought that wasn't until February.
It's usually the week. Is it going to be February? Because it's usually the week in between the conference championship games in football and the Super Bowl. Or at least it used to be.
We did an ECW title. We've done the Intercontinental title. We had the US title. Let's
do some women's titles.
It's actually February 1st is the Royal Rumble.
We'll do Women's History Month. We'll do a women's title.
When's Women's History Month? Know. Exactly.
April.
So like I said,
huh? No, it's March. It's not April.
March.
Why do I say March? Yeah, it's March.
When's International Women's Day?
Mother's Day. I don't know.
When's Mother's Day?
Sometime in the year. I don't know. I don't celebrate it.
But like I said, how about we do a women's title?
I'm saying we could hold off because there's some other things coming up.
Okay.
WCW was kind of a thing with the US title, but it kind of carried over.
I feel like we've done the Intercontinental title many times.
You want to do the Cruiserweight? WCW Cruiserweight title?
Yeah, that'll work.
And Eddie's involved in a third title situation, the US title, the ECW TV, and now the Cruiserweight.
And then you have a guy we just brought up who is kind of maybe not doing the best thing for his having the best end of a career, is in my opinion the greatest cruiserweight champion of all time, and that's Chris Jericho.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it. That'll be our run-up. So for the 7th, we'll do Macho Man. The 14th, we'll do Lex Luger. The 21st, we'll do Rumble in 2000. And the 28th, we'll roll out the road with the Cruiserweight Championship.
You can flip those because the Rumble is not until if the Rumble's the 28th, that would be the week of the Rumble.
Okay. Yeah, we'll play it by ear. But that'll do it for the Tornado Tag. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure if it's your first time on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you want, join that membership. Help us get our goals.
We'll have time to plug it before then, but I believe at one of the days before the Rumble, I will be hosting Royal Rumble trivia at Pilgrim Brewing in downtown Pottsville.
I'll be there drinking. I'll play and probably lose, but we'll hang out. But yeah, that'll do it for us. We'll see you guys next time in 2025. We'll be back with a little cream of the crop. That's right.
Gonna start up the year with some madness. Yeah.
Gonna get a little crazy in 2025. See you later.
Bye.